And the next voice you hear after this little bit of music will be that of SOTU. Thank you, Josh. Here we go.
There's a great deal of chaotic energy that exists in your world right now. And that basically means that the only consistent energy is the energy that is coming from the divine. It's the raw material. The raw material is still the same. It is how you are utilizing it. You know, that whole dynamic of, you know, what you all define as love is really a dynamic of emotion. And if you take almost all of the definitions off of it, it is just a resource. It is a raw material that you, as a species, were always intended to be able to manipulate through your thoughts, your words, and your feelings in order to be able to create a paradise, a world of peace with enough for all, a world that grows through the dynamic of its positive aspects rather than always dealing with the, what shall we say, the crises of the negative. Well, yeah, you've been manipulated in many ways, and you can go ahead and you can blame God, or you can blame this one, or you can blame the blacks, or you can blame the whites, or you can blame the rednecks, or you can blame the southerners, or you can blame the northerners, or you can take responsibility yourself and understand that it's through your own beliefs, your own thoughts, your own words, your own feelings that you create your reality. So if the basic dynamic of human nature is to desire fairness, wouldn't you say if you take the divisiveness away, you would all probably be much more cooperative with each other?
Certainly.
Now, you must also believe that there's enough.
Well, that's the first belief we run into when we talk to people about
yeah, they say there's
ideas.
not enough, and yet 1/10 of 1% of you owns fully half the wealth on the planet.
Which would suggest that at least...
Which would suggest there's more than enough. Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
So it's an attitude adjustment that has to do with deciding that lives matter?
All we want you to do is to consider walking your talk.
Yes.
You know, the thing is that you make certain statements about your reality, and your reality will ask you if you're sure you wish to make that choice.
Yes, that. So a lot of times we'll make a choice, we'll wish to change our behavior, and the next thing we know, we're being presented with the same old, and we're going, I don't know if I want to change, but when?
Well, you know, and so many of you do this dynamic around love. You know, you'll do it around love. You'll say, well, I'm not going to. I'm going to be this, and I'm going to be that this time, and I'm not going to let myself get trapped in the old ways of being and doing, because it always leads me to a dynamic of where I wind up being abandoned or betrayed, and I wind up suffering the deep hurt that is almost, what shall we say, imbalanced with the amount of romance that is felt in that sort of, romance, that dynamic that deludes you all. Romance is a dynamic where there is no winner at all in that sort of way. So, you know, this whole thing about love and this whole thing about connection, if you all would realize who you really are that you are, each of you, an autonomous individual. Each of you can find a certain dynamic of truth and authenticity within your heart. Each and every one of you that are earthly humans have this ability.